Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to be diving into a topic that's pretty close to all of our hearts, especially here in the U.S. Those habits that can help make you rich.
It's interesting because I think we often have these flashy images of millionaires in our heads, right? Like mansions and sports cars and private jets. But the reality is a lot more down to earth.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, think about Warren Buffett, right? He's one of the richest people on the planet, but he's lived in the same kind of modest house in Omaha, Nebraska for decades and decades and decades. So clearly there's more to wealth than meets the eye.
Definitely.
We've got a ton of research on millionaire habits. And what we found is it's not really about luck or inheritance or anything like that. It's about building smart habits.
Absolutely. It's about making those consistent choices that lead to financial security over time.
Okay, so let's unpack the 7 habits that really stood out to us. The ones that can make a real difference in your financial life, especially if you're living here in the U.S. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
All right. Habit number 1 is a classic. Live within your means. I mean, this one seems pretty straightforward. But in a world of instant gratification and easy credit, it's harder than ever to stick to.
Absolutely. And it's true. But here's the thing. Average millionaires aren't out there like racking up debt and chasing all the latest trends. They're incredibly disciplined about their spending. They create budgets, they track their expenses, and they really prioritize saving.
And think about the emotional weight that lifts off your shoulders, right? When you're not drowning in debt. No car payments looming over you, no crushing student loans. Every dollar you earn is yours to do what you want with, right? Save it, invest it, spend it guilt-free. That peace of mind, I mean, that's got to be priceless.
Absolutely. And living within your means doesn't have to mean depriving yourself. It's really about making conscious choices and understanding the value of your money.
So how do we put this into practice? What are some concrete tips from the research that our listener can maybe use right away?
So one popular guideline is something called the 2-5-1-5-10 rule for budgeting. And this suggests allocating no more than 25% of your take-home pay to housing, no more than 15% to food, and then capping your entertainment expenses at 10%.
That's really helpful. But I'm guessing, life throws curveballs, right?
Yeah.
So having a safety net is pretty important too, I imagine.
Oh, definitely. A solid emergency fund is absolutely crucial. Aim for at least 6 months of living expenses stashed away in a safe, easily accessible account. So that way, if you face a job loss or a medical emergency, an unexpected car repair, you're not left scrambling.
Yeah, that sense of security makes a huge difference.
Oh.
All right, let's move on to habit number 2. Become a reading machine. Now, this one really surprised me.
Yeah, me too, right. It turns out that a staggering 88% of wealthy people carve out at least 30 minutes every single day for reading. And it's not just for pleasure.
I mean, they're not just reading novels, right?
No, they're strategically choosing books that'll help them grow personally and professionally. Biographies of successful entrepreneurs, leadership books, history, books on current events, all popular choices. They're constantly feeding their minds and expanding their knowledge.
Makes you think, doesn't it? While some folks are glued to their screens, those who are building wealth are quietly absorbing knowledge, gaining that competitive edge.
Yeah, it's a powerful contrast. In fact, our research showed that people who are struggling financially actually rarely pick up a book for self-improvement. So it really highlights that importance of being a lifelong learner.
So to our listener, I have a question for you. What are you reading right now? What could you learn today that could make you more valuable tomorrow? Something to consider. Okay, ready for habit number 3? This is a big one. Ditch the screens, build your network. I know. This is easier said than done in our, digital world.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. But millionaires are incredibly disciplined with their time. They limit their TV and non-work internet use to less than an hour a day. Think about all the time that frees up.
Seriously, an extra hour or 2 every day. What could you accomplish with that kind of time?
Well, millionaires use that time strategically. They network, they volunteer, they even work on side hustles. So they're actively building their future instead of passively consuming content.
And let's not forget the power of connections, right? A whopping 75% of wealthy people dedicate at least 5 hours each month to networking. They're out there meeting new people, building relationships, opening doors to opportunities you wouldn't find just scrolling through social media.
It's true. They understand that their network is a valuable asset. It's about building genuine connections and providing value to others, right? You never know where a conversation might lead a new client, a business partner, even a mentor.
So instead of mindlessly browsing the internet tonight, Challenge yourself to reach out to someone you admire. Attend an industry event. Volunteer for a cause you believe in. You might be surprised at the connections you make. All right, on to habit number 4, and this one's about playing the long game. Invest wisely. Think long term.
It's a recurring theme, among millionaires. They understand that building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. They didn't get rich quick, Coster. They built their wealth steadily through consistent long-term investments.
Things like 401ks and Roth IRAs, these are investment accounts that allow your money to grow over time. And the earlier you start, the more time your money has to compound and multiply. It's like a snowball effect, but for your finances.
Exactly. Time is your greatest ally when it comes to investing. And here's the key. Millionaires avoid those, risky, get-rich-quick schemes that are so tempting. They're not chasing the latest cryptocurrency craze or day trading stocks.
So they're not gambling with their money.
Not at all. They focus on building a diversified portfolio, letting their money work for them over the long haul. They might consult with financial advisors to make sure their investments are aligned with their goals, but they're not falling for the hype.
So it's about being patient and disciplined, which can be tough in a world that's constantly bombarding us with these, easy money promises. So to our listener, have you started investing yet? If not, what's holding you back? It might be time to explore your options and start planting those financial seeds today. You'll thank yourself later. Trust me. All right, ready for habit number 5? This one might surprise you. Become a master negotiator.
Now, when we say negotiator, we don't mean being pushy or aggressive. It's really about having that mindset of always looking for ways to improve your financial situation, even in small ways.
I once read about this millionaire who negotiated the price of his morning coffee every day. Might seem a little quirky, but, keeps his negotiation skills sharp. And he probably saves a few bucks in the process.
Exactly. It's about being aware of your options and not being afraid to ask for what you want. And, our research shows that 69% of millionaires actually haggle for discounts when they're shopping, compared to just 41% of the general population.
Wow, that's a huge difference.
It is. It shows that millionaires are constantly looking for ways to get the best value for their money. They understand that even small savings can add up over time.
And it's not just about price, right? Negotiation skills can be valuable in all areas of life, from salary negotiations to business deals. It's about being able to communicate effectively, find common ground, and create those win-win situations. So think back to the last time you negotiated a better price. Maybe it was for a car, a piece of furniture, even a cable bill. How did it feel to get a better deal? I bet it felt pretty empowering.
Absolutely. And the more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
Okay, moving on to habit number 6. Say no to debt, yes to side hustles. This is about taking control of your finances and building a solid foundation for your future.
Millionaires understand the true cost of debt. They see it as this weight that drags them down, preventing them from achieving their financial goals. They would much rather save up and pay cash for what they want than be saddled with interest payments.
That feeling of being debt-free, of not owing anyone anything, that's got to be incredibly liberating. Imagine no more credit card bills hanging over your head, no more car payments draining your bank account every month. It's about having the financial freedom to make choices that align with your values and your priorities.
Exactly. And it's not just about avoiding debt, right? Millionaires are also incredibly resourceful when it comes to increasing their income. They're always on the lookout for opportunities to create multiple streams of revenue. Whether it's starting a side hustle, investing in real estate, building a business, they're not afraid to think outside the box.
It's inspiring, isn't it? They don't just sit around waiting for a raise or a promotion. They take action. They create their own opportunities. So think about it. What unique skills or passions could you turn into a side hustle? Maybe you're a great baker, a talented writer, a whiz at fixing computers. There are endless possibilities in today's gig economy.
It's about tapping into your potential and being creative. The traditional 9-to-5 job isn't the only path to financial success anymore. There are so many ways to monetize your skills and interests.
Okay, we've arrived at our final habit for today. Embrace delayed gratification. This is all about playing the long game and resisting the temptation for instant satisfaction.
We live in a culture of I want it now, but millionaires understand that true wealth requires patience and discipline. They're willing to sacrifice those short-term pleasures for long-term financial security. They're not afraid to wait for what they really want.
Think back to Warren Buffett and his modest home. He could easily afford a sprawling mansion or a fleet of luxury cars, but he chooses to live simply and invest his money wisely. It's a powerful example of delayed gratification in action.
It really is, and it's a mindset shift that can benefit anyone, regardless of their income level.
So how do we cultivate this habit of delayed gratification?
It starts with being mindful of your spending habits.
So before you make a purchase, ask yourself, do I really need this right now or can I wait? Am I buying this to impress someone else or because it truly brings me joy?
Exactly. It's about making conscious choices and being intentional with your money. It's about thinking long term and prioritizing your future self over your present self. It's not always easy, but the rewards are definitely worth it.
Yeah, it's like building a muscle, right? The more you practice delayed gratification, the easier it becomes. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. Let's quickly recap those 7 powerful habits that can really help you build wealth, especially here in the US.
Sounds good, yeah. Let's do a quick rundown.
All right, number 1, live within your means. Create a budget, track your spending, prioritize saving. It's about making those conscious choices with your money and avoiding that unnecessary debt.
Number 2, become a reading machine. Dedicate at least 30 minutes each day to expanding your knowledge and your skills. Read biographies of successful people, books on leadership, finance, history, anything that can give you an edge.
Number 3, ditch the screens, build your network. Invest your time in those face-to-face interactions, building meaningful connections. Attend industry events, volunteer, reach out to people you admire. You never know what doors might open.
Number 4, invest wisely and think long term. Embrace the power of compounding and avoid those risky get-rich-quick schemes. Start early, even if it's with small amounts, and watch your money grow over time.
Number 5, become a master negotiator. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want and look for those opportunities to improve your financial situation. Negotiate prices, salaries, contracts, everything.
Number 6 is say no to debt, and yes to side hustles. Embrace that financial freedom and explore ways to increase your income. Turn your passions into profits, create multiple streams of revenue, and break free from the limitations of a single paycheck.
Here, finally, number 7, embrace delayed gratification. Make those conscious choices that prioritize long-term financial security over those short-term pleasures. Learn to wait for what you want, save up, and avoid those impulse purchases.
You know, what's so fascinating about all of this is these habits are accessible to anyone regardless of their income level. It's not about how much you earn, it's about how you manage your money and your mindset.
Exactly. It's not about luck or privilege. It's about taking control of your finances and making those smart choices consistently over time. You know, these habits are like building blocks, each one strengthening the foundation of your financial future.
And remember, it's a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, market fluctuations, unexpected expenses, but if you stay focused on your goals and keep practicing these habits, you'll be well on your way to building a brighter financial future.
It's so empowering to realize that we actually have the power to shape our own financial destinies, right? We don't have to be victims of circumstance or feel trapped by our current situations.
Absolutely. It's about taking responsibility, being proactive, and embracing the opportunities that are all around us.
So to our listener out there, we encourage you to take a look at these 7 habits and see which ones resonate with you the most. Which ones can you start implementing today?
Even small changes can make a big difference over time.
Yeah, and it all starts with that single step, right? Which habit are you going to focus on first? What small change can you make today to kind of set yourself on the path to financial freedom?
That's the question, right? Is it finally creating that budget or picking up a biography of someone that you admire? Maybe it's just reaching out to someone in your field for like a quick coffee chat. Every journey has to start somewhere.
We want to hear from you, so leave a comment below and tell us which habit resonated with you the most and what action you're going to take. And hey, if you're enjoying these deep dives into all sorts of fascinating topics, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future episodes.
We explore everything from personal growth and finance to the latest trends in tech and culture. There's something here for everyone.
And hey, if you found this episode valuable, give it a like and share it with your friends. Let's spread the knowledge and empower more people to take control of their finances.
Absolutely. We believe that financial literacy is key to building a brighter future, and we're here to help you every step of the way.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.